What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I'm the Brazen Goddess, Amira Madimoyo, and on this channel I talk about self-development, fitness, nutrition, self-love, and self-growth. And today, something a little juicy. We're going to be talking about intermittent fasting and fasting in general for rapid fat loss. And just some of the benefits of fasting is something that I've been doing actually since I was a child. So my parents, they practiced the mucusless diet healing system a lot. So growing up, it was something that, was completely normal in our household. But I did realize that a lot of people, it wasn't normal for a lot of people. But it is a lifestyle to where intermittently you're fasting. So, multiple days of the month, or we regularly interact with people who fasted for long periods of time, and they would normally fast on juices and stuff like that. So it was interesting to me to kind of see this new culture of fasting and people talking about IF and intermittent fasting and all this stuff. And so it just kind of inspired me to kind of look into it and see what it was about, because it's something that's familiar to me. So the way that a lot of people practice these days intermittent fasting is a 8-16 method. So that basically means that you would eat for 8 hours, fast for 16 hours. And with this, it's kind of interesting because you can choose to do that 8-hour window at any point in time in the day. The best would probably be to start between like maybe 9 in the morning to maybe 12 in the morning for your start period. And a lot of people do like 12 in the morning to 8 at night, which is what I do. But you could also do like 9 in the morning till 5, however you choose to do it. The thing is, you're eating within that 8-hour time window and you're abstaining from food in that 16-hour time window. So you're fasting at that point. So it's like a little short fast. It's nothing compared to some of the fasts that I've seen personally, but it's a nice little short fast that actually helps to do a lot of different things in your body. And I want to go over just kind of some of the benefits. I have them written down here. So fasting is an ancient practice. Like I'm sure we've heard of in Islam, a lot of people do Ramadan. So they'll be fasting from they'll eat in the morning and then they'll fast the entire day. Some people go without food and water. Some people just drink water. And then at night, after the sun goes down, they'll actually eat another meal. So that's one form of fasting that's been done for thousands of years. We fasted. You can see in Kemet, you can see evidence of us fasting and using fasting for healing, using fasting for spiritual enlightenment, and just different things like that. Throughout Africa, I've seen it in multiple different ways. Even sometimes, even if that area, they were just nomadic, and sometimes there just wasn't any food that was, growing or prolific at that time, you're fasting. It's fasting. Even here in the States, we see a lot of people who have lived over 100 years are people who grew up during a time where there might have been times where food was scarce and they were fasting. A lot of times it wasn't because they had this trendy idea or they were trying to heal themselves or something. There just was no food. Okay. So we see a lot of these examples, but these are people who have lived a long time, had a vitality for a long time. So fasting is something that has been proven to be good for us, right, as humans. This culture is like there's always food available, so there's always that temptation of food, but this is like a relatively new thing for us, as people. So that's something to think about. Just think about it that way. This is relatively new for us to have food everywhere, but it's an ancient practice. So the most popular, like I was talking about, is the 16-8 intermittent fasting model. It's convenient. It's something that you can do daily. I do it every day. There might be one day out of the week if I'm doing something that I will maybe have a meal later when I get home from something, or maybe have a meal early, for whatever reason. There might be one day out of the week that I don't do it. But I have been doing it for a few weeks now. And I've done it before in the past. And of course, I've done other fasts before in the past too. So I'm just kind of giving you my results from this consistent short amount of time, but then also in the past longer amounts of time, and results from other people and studies and things like that. So in that 8-hour window, you would be consuming anything that would contain calories, right? During the other times, some people do like black coffee, no sugar, nothing. I do lemon water or just water. But some people they do nothing that metabolizes. So they would do no lemon in their water, no black coffee, nothing, like just plain water. And you could do it that way as well. What this does is this helps your body to kind of have a span of time without metabolizing calories, without processing anything. And because it kind of has that time to not have to process any type of food or calorie containing beverage, it's able to actually use its energy to heal areas of the body that may need to be healed. If you are an athlete or if you work out like I do, I lift weights a lot and stuff like that. This period of time is when your body actually starts that process of healing and building back up those muscles that you've broken down, during your workouts, right? So that's how we get gains, y'all. You have a shorter amount of time to get gains if you're constantly eating, your body's constantly metabolizing. And so it may take a little bit longer for your body to actually say, okay, now what I need to do is fix these muscles that were broken down, because it has just so much to do. So imagine a mama like me, right? The dishes need to be done. You're going to do them. But you still got to sweep this up first. You got to put the baby in the tub because the baby got food in her hair. She got oatmeal all over her face. You got other things to do, right? So you'll get to the dishes. So this is something that kind of gives you that span of time. It can be, while you're sleeping, it's usually a large chunk of the time, but sometimes while you're awake too, it kind of gives the body time to go through all those different things that it needs to do and make sure that everything's done thoroughly. So the benefits of this is that it enhances weight loss. For me, I have seen weight loss, y'all. And it's so funny because I've been somewhat having inconsistent weight loss because my body is a type that really likes a set weight. Once it gets to a set weight, it does not like to move. I can be soaking wet. It could be morning. It could be night. It could be after meal, before a meal, whatever. My body likes to have a set weight. And as I've had children and as my body has changed, it's like my set weight has went up and up, right? So I've been, building muscle, doing my workouts and things like that. And that has helped with the composition of my body. So I definitely have less fat and things like that are changing with the way that my body looks. But I was wondering, why am I not seeing like any type of change in the scale or very little change in the scale, and then it may go back up or whatever. So this is something that has really kind of helped to kind of get the weight loss process kind of going. And in the past 2 weeks that I weighed myself, I've lost, 6 pounds. So that's over more than the past 2 weeks, but just me having weighed myself in the past 2 weeks. So it does enhance weight loss because it actually allows your body to eliminate things that it does not need. And it helps your body to, go through that metabolism process to really process your foods, and just everything gives it more time. It improves blood sugar because it will actually take your fasting insulin levels, it reduces them. So at a time when we're like fasting, if we're always constantly eating, so at a time when we're asleep, usually our insulin levels are still pretty high because our body's still working on metabolizing all of the food that we ate during the day. If you're fasting more for a longer period of time, it will reduce those insulin levels and kind of gives those organs a break, which will help to reduce your risk of diabetes. And if you already have diabetes, it can actually help to reduce your blood sugar, keep it down naturally, and just process things a lot better. And it also helps in longevity. And I know this is something I said earlier too, that a lot of people who have lived over 100 years have been people who had scarcity of food when in their developmental years. So I know in my family, a lot of the people who lived over 90 years were people who were children or young during the time of the Great Depression. So that's interesting, you know, that I can actually see that example. And I can see it also in other people's families that I know personally, that though that was the generation that did live quite a long time without health issues. And they were just very strong in general. But they did go through those periods of scarce food at a young age and, you know, throughout their life. So those are some of the benefits, y'all. I definitely feel like now for myself, you know, personally, I have more energy in the morning. I also feel like I have just kind of more of a disciplined mindset when it comes to food. Like I don't just wake up and whatever's there in front of me, whatever's in the house in the refrigerator, I'm just eating it or whatever. I will think about it first, because first of all, I'm not eating until 12. So I have time to think, you know, okay, what am I going to have? You know, first thing, I'm going to have a piece of fruit. I'm going to slice it up. I'm going to slice it up like this. And then after that, around 1 or 2, I'm going to have my lunch. Blah, 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 blah. So I can kind of have it in my mind, plan it all out instead of just going for whatever because I'm hungry, right? And then I've also, like I said, seen weight loss, and I haven't had any change in the energy for my workout. So that's also a plus for me, right? So that's that, y'all. There are definitely some benefits to fasting. There are definitely some reasons why you should check it out. The reasons why you may not want to check it out or it may not be for you is if you have maybe a thyroid issue. I would definitely talk to your physician or your holistic naturopathic healer if you have diabetes, but it could definitely be beneficial for you. So talk to them first, but it could be beneficial for you. And yeah, there are so many people who I feel like this would help. And so I wanted to put out a video. I talked about it on Instagram, but I wanted to definitely put out a video too, because I definitely think that you should try it. I would recommend it. Take it slow, maybe only do 1 or 2 days a week at first and then kick it up. And then the next stage for me will be doing a full 24-hour fast. And then, you know, I don't know from there, but that's my next goal. So I'll tell y'all how that goes. But for right now, I'm very excited about doing just the 16-8 intermittent fasting model. It's been working really well. So let me know. I will update y'all if anything changes. But let me know if you have any experience with this. And if you would like more tips or more information on it, I can definitely bring more videos to my channel. So good to see y'all again. Check me out on the next one. I have other videos that I would definitely love for you to check out and share with a friend or a friend's friend. And I will see y'all in my next one. Peace.